so those aren't, there are no real, there's no markings or anything between them, but you can kind of imagine, you know, a line here. And when the players, when we introduce where the players stand, you'll see that there's one player to each of these areas. So because the outfield is such a large amount of space, and so when you get out here, this is generally, the rule is generally around 400 feet is the distance from home plate out to the center field fence. And so parks vary, so this is the way they're different. You know, basketball fields are basketball courts are all the same no matter where you're at, but baseball fields, they all have to be at least 400. You might see a few, you know, less, but if it's built, you know, since they made the rule, it has to be at least 400 feet to center field. And then down the lines, it has to be at least 325 feet, and it can be anything over that. So you see in Chicago, they have a fence that's 355 feet down the line. So that's, the line is the foul line or the baseline. So from home plate to the foul pole is 355 feet. You know, and so that's quite a long way away, even though it's not the 400 feet to center. But all parks are closer on the foul lines than to center field. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, the shortest is Fenway Park in Boston, and they're actually, their right field is 302 feet, but because, which is actually shorter than the 325 feet that it's supposed to be, but because the park was built so long ago in 1914, I think, they kind of let that rule slide, and it retains some of its uniqueness. So in Boston, and the other side, it's not too much longer. It's only 310 feet to the left, down down the left line. So it's 310 feet from home plate to the foul pole there. And so another way that they have a unique look to every stadium is the ability to make the height of the wall a different height, different height. So because it's only 310 feet, you're not going to have a short wall, because that's you know, easier to hit over than most, is closer than most stadiums. So what they did in Boston is they have this big wall, and it's called the Green Monster. So that's this wall here. So you can see from home plate the whole way out here is the 310, and then it's from the ground to the top, it's, you know, 37 feet, I think 3 inches or somewhere around there. And so you can see the people sitting up here on top of the wall. So there's the top of the wall, and then it goes out a little deeper in center field, where it's got to be over 400 feet. So you can see the drop off here, and then the wall comes down here. So different stadiums will have different, because it's closer. You know, they try to make the wall deeper. You know, here's another one. Here's Pittsburgh. They have the same kind of thing, but reversed. So in right field over here, they have this wall here that's 21 feet high, and then it drops down here to 10 feet, and then it drops down again out here to 6 feet, I think. So and you'll see here that in Pittsburgh, they instead of making it 400 feet to center, they made it a little shorter for whatever reason, so it's 399. So it's almost there. And then the deepest part of the park is actually here in left, it's not in left field and it's not in center field, so we call it left center field. So it's 410 into what's called the gap, and that's the gap between, you can kind of make out a fielder here and the guy here. So this is the left center field gap. And so that's how each stadium can be different. So if we head back in, there's one other little area around home plate that I want to look at. So let's go back to this guy here, and so home plate is again, you know, where everything starts. And so there's a lot of action that takes place around it. You know, the majority of the game and action and the time you'll spend at the game, you'll be paying attention to the home plate area. So the place that the person stands, he'll be called the batter. And so they came up with this area called the batter's box, so to make him stand in. And so what it'll be is this area. So you come here, and it's 6 inches off the plate, away from the plate, and I get the right color. So 6 inches off the plate, and then we have what is called the batter's box. So this is the batter's box, and so this obviously isn't drawn to scale, because remember this here is 17 inches. The plate is 17 inches wide, and the batter's box is 4 feet wide, and that's from here to here. So that's 4 feet, and then off this corner should be the center. So it should be, if I drew it correctly, this here should be equivalent to this here. So these are each 3 feet, and again this over down here should be 3 feet. So it's 6 feet total, 4 feet wide, and 6 inches off the plate. And then we have the same situation over here, depending how, if the batter is left-handed or right-handed. And again, we'll get into that in a future video. So you can see in this picture, so here's home plate with the 5 sides, and you can see the foul line extends off of it down here. Here's the third baseline, because we're kind of looking at it backwards now, and then the first baseline comes down this way. So it comes into the batter's box, and they don't have the front line drawn here, but so theoretically they should, but they don't always do it. Sometimes in the pros, the batter, this is the batter, he'll like to crouch in close to the plate to try to get an advantage. So the chalk usually ends up getting covered with dirt anyway, but